There is a dark psychological paradox that nobody wants to talk about. The more a man provides, the more he protects, and the more he pours his heart into a woman, the more likely she is to treat him like an option instead of a priority. You aren't just unlucky in love, you are witnessing the utility trap. You've spent your life being the good man, the one who shows up, the one who pays the bills, the one who listens. But instead of being rewarded with loyalty, you're being met with disrespect, boredom, and eventually betrayal. You're the victim of the predictability tax. Because she knows you'll always be there, she has stopped valuing your presence. Behavioral observation suggests that when a man removes all risk from a relationship, the woman often loses the respect required to keep her faithful. You are witnessing a psychological operation where your goodness is being used as a permit for her to behave badly. You're the victim of the kindness subsidy. She is using your stability to fund her search for excitement elsewhere. Today, we are tearing the mask off the nice guy myth and exposing the brutal reality of why your best traits are being used against you as weapons. If you don't watch this until the final second, you are choosing to stay a safe harbor for a woman who is looking for a pirate ship. The most gut-wrenching realization for a man is that his goodness didn't make her love him more, it just made it easier for her to hurt him without fearing the consequences. Men, this channel is more than content. It's a brotherhood that exists for those who refuse to be controlled, distracted, or broken. My ex told me men today are too weak, too distracted, and too controlled to ever unite. I didn't argue. I decided to prove her wrong. Every man who subscribes is proof that discipline, self-respect, and strength still exist. If you stand for truth, self-control, and knowing your value as a real man, if you're here to sharpen your mindset and live with standards, subscribe and stay. Like this video and make your presence known in the comments. Let's see who's serious and is ready to prove doubters wrong, because after this video, you'll be reborn as a new man who has discovered himself and is ready to take back his manhood. Make sure to subscribe and stay ahead, because we're just getting started. We have to look at the anatomy of the overfunctioning man. You see, brothers, when you do 100% of the work in a relationship, you leave her with 0% of the reason to try. Behavioral patterns show that this creates the entitlement loop. Your provision has become her expectation. You are the victim of the invisible labor. You think you're being the better man, but you're actually experiencing the value devaluation. Your brain is flooded with stress because you are giving everything and receiving nothing but coldness in return. This leads us to the emotional bankruptcy. You are being neurologically exploited by a woman who sees your patience as weakness. You are being psychologically drained by a person who treats your love like a utility bill. She only notices it when the lights go out. The most dangerous part of this is the respect decay. Behavioral observation suggests that a woman cannot love a man she does not respect, and she cannot respect a man she can walk all over. You are the victim of the mat effect. Every time you let it slide to keep the peace, you are actually giving her a shovel to dig the grave of your relationship. You are being spiritually liquidated by a person who interprets your grace as lack of options. I want to tell you about a man named Jasper. Jasper was the definition of a provider. He worked 2 jobs so his wife, Chloe, could stay home and pursue her hobbies. He never missed an anniversary. He never raised his voice. He even let Chloe's mother move in when they were struggling. Jasper thought he was building a dream. Jasper was the loser in this story because he chose the appeasement strategy. When Chloe started coming home late and acting bored, Jasper didn't set boundaries. He bought her a new car. He thought that if he was better, she would appreciate him more. He was the victim of the sunk cost delusion. One night, Jasper found messages on Chloe's phone laughing about how easy it was to manipulate him. She was telling her friends that Jasper was a great guy, but so boring I can't stand to look at him. Jasper didn't leave. He asked for marriage counseling. He begged her to tell him what he was doing wrong. Jasper failed because he didn't realize that you cannot negotiate respect. He spent the next 3 years being treated like a servant in his own house while Chloe openly flirted with other men. He lost his health, his savings, and his self-respect. He was the victim of the good man's martyrdom. You have to recognize the cold reality of resource extraction. Often, a woman stays with a good man not because she loves him, but because he is the most efficient system for her survival. You are the victim of the parasitic partnership. Behavioral observations show that while you are pouring value into the relationship, she is storing that value to use when she eventually finds someone exciting. You are being psychologically deconstructed by a woman who is using your goodness as a bridge to her next destination. This leads us to the social isolation of the provider. Because you are so busy working and being good, you've lost your edge. You've lost your brotherhood. You are the victim of the domesticated trap. You have become a tool rather than a man. Behavioral patterns suggest that men in this position are the most likely to be blindsided by infidelity because they were too busy being good to notice the evil growing in their own living room. You are being socially evicted from your own masculinity. You are the victim of the nice guy's prison. The loser's loop is the man who thinks more effort will fix lack of character. You think that if you just do the dishes more or pay for one more vacation, she will finally see your worth. But you are the victim of the diminishing returns. Behavioral patterns suggest that when a woman has lost the awe of her man, no amount of service will bring it back. You are being psychologically looped into a cycle of giving and getting discarded. You have to realize that the problem isn't your effort, it's your selection. You are being drained of your masculine essence by a woman who wouldn't know a good man if he saved her life. The final stage of this first section is understanding the biological burnout of the beta provider. This is the stage where the good man realizes he's been scammed. You are being physically liquidated by the stress of unreciprocated loyalty. Your body is in crisis mode because your pack has turned against you. You think you're just unhappy, but your body is telling you that your environment is toxic to your survival. You are the victim of the domestic biohazard. The man you used to be was a man who believed that doing right resulted in getting right, but that rule doesn't apply to a woman with no honor. You have to let that man go. You have to realize that the destruction you feel is the breaking of the chains that kept you serving a queen who treats you like a peasant. If you are still operating under the belief that being nicer will make her treat you better, you are bringing a bouquet of flowers to a gunfight. You need to understand the concept of the respect recalibration. The man who wins this battle isn't the one who convinces her he's a good man. It's the man who realizes that his goodness is a high-priced luxury that she hasn't paid the subscription fee for in months. You're the victim of the high-value subsidy. You've been giving premium loyalty to a woman who is offering you discount bin respect. You're witnessing a psychological pivot. She didn't stop seeing your value, she started taking it for granted because you made it too cheap. You're the victim of the accessibility error. Behavioral observations show that when a man's time, resources, and attention are unlimited, their value in a woman's mind drops to zero. Today, we are finishing the blueprint of the armored provider. We are looking at the final tactical shifts, the strategic withdrawal, the implementation of the cost of admission, and the mastery of the self-centered mission. I'm going to show you why the most dangerous man in the world is a good man who has finally decided to keep his goodness for himself. If you don't watch this until the final second, you're choosing to stay the reliable loser instead of becoming the relentless king. I know men with standards are here. If you value discipline, respect, and strength, subscribe, like, and comment. We have to talk about the sovereignty of the hard boundary. You see, brothers, a good man without boundaries isn't a saint, he's a target. Behavioral observations suggest that the winner is the man who treats his goodness like a fortress, not a public park. You are being neurologically upgraded the moment you stop asking for respect and start commanding the environment. You are the victim of the permission mindset until the day you decide that your yes means nothing if you're not willing to say a brutal no. This leads us to the science of the resource pivot. Most men think they need to work harder to save a relationship that is already sinking. This is a behavioral error. You are throwing good money after bad. You are the victim of the infinite investment trap. Behavioral patterns show that the only way to regain your power is to liquidate the emotional assets. You are being psychologically reset. By taking the energy you used to spend fixing her and putting it into fixing your empire, you create a shift in the power dynamic that she cannot ignore. I want to tell you about a man named Grant. Grant was a high-performing architect who treated his wife Melissa like a literal goddess. He handled the bills, the chores, and the emotional heavy lifting. Melissa rewarded this by becoming cold, critical, and eventually finding herself in the bed of a guy who didn't even have a steady job. Grant was treated the worst because he was the best to her. Grant was the winner in this story because he chose the surgical extraction. The moment Grant saw the disrespect hit a certain level, he didn't try harder, he didn't ask what's wrong, he realized he was the victim of the value mismatch. Grant quietly moved his office to a separate location. He stopped being the emotional garbage can for her complaints. He stopped funding the lifestyle she used to mock him for. Grant won because he realized his goodness was his leverage. When he stopped providing the safe harbor, Melissa's world fell apart. The exciting guy she was talking to couldn't pay her phone bill or listen to her problems. Grant won because he didn't argue, he just became unavailable. 2 years later, Grant was more successful than ever, dating a woman who actually appreciated the old-school values he brought to the table. When Melissa tried to come back, claiming she missed his heart, Grant realized she just missed his wallet and his work ethic. He didn't even let her finish the sentence. He won because he understood that a good man's biggest mistake is giving kingdom benefits to a woman who has a visitor's pass. You have to recognize the biological rebirth of the selective man. This is a biological fact. When a man stops being a service provider and starts being a mission leader, his internal chemistry changes. You are the victim of the caretaker's cortisol as long as you are trying to earn love from a woman who treats you like a servant. But the moment you reclaim your time and focus, your dominance returns. You are being biologically optimized to lead, not to follow. Your goodness becomes a reward for those who stay loyal, not a right for those who are disloyal. The winner's protocol is about the sovereignty of the self-investment. You have to look at your life and realize that you are the primary beneficiary of your own hard work. You are the sovereign man. You recognize that kindness is a tool for building, not a shield for hiding. You are being hardened for the throne. Healing is the realization that being treated the worst was the final test to see if you were strong enough to finally put yourself first. You are being reforged. You now know that being a good man is only powerful when it's backed by the strength to walk away. You are the master of your own psychology. You don't need gratitude from a woman who doesn't have a soul. You need sovereignty. You are the sovereign man. You are the master of your own destiny. You don't look back at the years you wasted being good to the wrong person. You look at the strength you gained from surviving their lack of character. So here is the smart question for the brotherhood today. If your goodness has only ever brought you disrespect and betrayal from her, isn't it time you started being good to the one person who has actually been there for you through it all? Yourself. I want to hear from the men who were the nice guy until the day they decided to be the wise man. How did the world change when you stopped asking for permission to be respected? For the brothers who are still trying to be good to someone who treats them like trash, be honest. Are you afraid of being the bad guy, or are you just afraid of the silence that comes when you stop chasing someone who isn't running towards you? Drop your story in the comments. Your honesty might be the wake-up call the brother next to you needs to finally close the bank of his heart to those who only come to withdraw. This channel is for men who are done blaming themselves for other people's choices. If that's you, don't leave as a spectator. Subscribe and stay ahead because we're just getting started. Support the message, speak in the comments, and stand with the men who choose clarity over confusion. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay cold, stay in your power.